Yeah, actually started trying to make this video on Monday morning, but typical Monday, got behind, got distracted, this and that. Tried yesterday and actually got busy right before the store opened, which is a good thing. Got some deliveries, had a couple of people come in, so said I'll try again today. So here I am. Beautiful Wednesday morning. Actually, it's kind of rainy and a little chilly. Not bad though. Um, my dogs like this weather, so went walking this morning and they enjoyed it. So, oh well. Anyway, it makes coffee taste better, and had a couple cups. I actually probably need a third one here, but trying to get this knocked out before I get distracted again. So, I originally had started talking about 3D printing. A lot of people ask me about 3D printing lately. I got 4 basic Ender 3 Pros going behind the counter here. Printing some buildings. Right now I'm doing buildings for Wars of Ozz. I'll talk a little more about that in a minute. But anyway, I always have a lot of questions, a lot of discussion around my printers. Basically, I'm running these guys stock. I've replaced the springs, replaced a couple fans, have replaced one hot end. Other than that, actually, I have this one Ender 3. It's been running about 3 years now. The other ones had probably 2 years. And since I moved them up behind the counter here back this summer, um, I've been working them out. It can be frustrating. That's one reason I got distracted Monday morning. I had one that was not leveling Sunday night, couldn't get to level, so came in early Monday. Still couldn't get to level. Then I had another one, the fan was rubbing on the housing, so I took it apart, tried to figure out what was wrong with that. Really couldn't put it back together. Said, forget it. I'm gonna let it run, see what happens. And yeah, that quit rubbing. So it kind of worked itself out. The other one, the bed, I still not happy with it. Basically, I'm leveling as the print runs. I print a brim, which goes around that helps adhere to the plate. I watch the brim and kind of adjust it as it's doing that. So, not the way want to work because it takes up way too much time on every print, and then it still may or may not uh, be successful. I had to restart on Monday afternoon 3 times, but finally got it stuck. So here's one. I printed actually. I'm experimenting on the sizes that I want these buildings. I added magnets to the top, so this is on a tower. I'll take the tower off. But I bought some files. I'm trying to figure out what size I want to make these for Wars of Oz. Excuse me. Um, it's interesting. They're 28 mil, 25 mil, but you start dealing with the Munchkins, of course, and they're even smaller. So for Munchkin houses, what size do you make them? So I think I've got it down yesterday afternoon after about 5 different prints. I think I know the height I want of the first level of the buildings, so I can manage to scale all of them based on that height. I think it's around 50. Was that 50 millimeters or centimeters, whatever that metric stuff is. Anyway, so I can adjust and scale the other ones to that size. Yeah, I print out 2. Well, the windmill, which is really cool, but it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sections tall. It's looking at it. It's well over a foot tall, probably pushing 16, 18 inches. So I've got to shrink that down. Great. It'd be actually fun to have this as a single piece on the table. But probably going to shrink it down, have about maybe 3 or 4 on the table. But cool. And I'll talk more about those prints, something else to talk about in the future. But anyway, 3D printers. you got to have a lot of patience. They're not plug and play. Um, a lot of people I talk to want to buy one. Well, I don't try to talk them out of it. I probably don't encourage it either. One thing I talk about, if you got a laptop, would you feel comfortable like replacing your battery on your laptop? Um, a lot of people say no, no way. I said, well, you really don't want a 3D printer because you're going to have to replace pieces, parts on them, hot ends, nozzles, extruders. I've had to done some redo some minor wiring, some fans. It's going to happen, especially on like the under threes, the cheaper ones. You're going to have to do maintenance. It can be fiddly, frustrating. Like I said, problem is there's no error codes, so when a print fails, it's up to you to figure it out. Luckily, I've done enough prints. I'm pretty good at figuring out why it's failing, and I always start from what's the easiest thing to try to fix up to taking it apart. So somewhere usually I figure it out. Um, Most time it is one to three different things would be a quick fix. I've gotten where the nozzles I replace, they're less than a buck a piece, so I give it one shot with those, and then I just replace them. It's not worth my um, mental um, capacity to try to figure out what else could be wrong. And a lot of times it is that they're brass. When I'm running printers all the time, you are melting plastic, reheating plastic, if you will. There is a residue that builds up. It's kind of like honey. It can be very sticky and gooey. And you get that, it actually creates enough friction that a lot of times your printer will under extrude, which means it's really thin and it ends up being like a sponge. You can squeeze it because it's not getting a full print going. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of people it's interesting to have printers and not even use them right now. I have had a couple people actually bring their printers in. I've tried to help them, um, fix them, level them, replace nozzles, that type of stuff. Show them a few things I know, and I'm far, far from the expert. There is a lot of great stuff on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere else out there, but it's almost gotten to the point where there's almost too much information. I kind of chuckle. I think some of these guys spend more time upgrading, you know, their printers, tricking them out than they do actually printing with them. I keep mine simple. I said very, 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 very few upgrades, modifications, and I print. Not the greatest prints in the world, but I'd say I've got it down to above average. I think one thing I found is it's pretty important, the filament. I like Hatchbox. I did buy a bunch of Elegoo filament. It is different. It's a little softer overall than the Hatchbox, which makes some issues. Probably had more problems with adhesion using the Elegoo than I have the Hatchbox. Also looking, every day they're coming out with new, better printers, pieces, parts, upgrades. Isaac Hill's going to run by his bamboo printer in the next couple of days. I want to see what that's like because I've only heard good things, and they print like 4 to 5 times faster than my Ender 3s, which would just be truly amazing if they print that fast. And they're supposed to be better. Of course, they should be. They're newer stuff. Some questions I do have about their printers is they're all proprietary, where the Ender 3s, you can buy parts anywhere. I think get stuff off of Amazon super cheap. So maintenance is not an issue. So curious about the bamboo. They want you to use their filament too. So that it's interesting doing some more research. But having fun with my printers. they can suck you in the black hole like they did Monday. I looked up and it was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I was still working on the one printer. So it can be, I don't know how to describe it. It can be frustrating, but also once I go down that black hole, it's like I said, time just flies. Especially I get stuck here late at night too. A lot of times I work on them after everybody leaves, and next thing I know, it's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, can't be afraid to work on them. They will fail. So if you like messing with stuff, yeah, get you one. If you're a plug and play person and don't want to do anything else, no, don't get one. Back to War of Oz. I've mentioned it a few times. I got to play a couple games that fall in. I've been following it for a good while, kind of on the side. Hadn't really done much with it, but after playing a couple games, reading through the rule book, getting the miniatures, and actually talking to Russ at Old Glory, who is actually the people that produce it. I'm actually going to be carrying the War of Oz retail. I'm very excited about that. It's giving me reason to update my website. I'll be working over that through the end of the year. And really excited taking it to conventions, both doing demos and selling at conventions. Every time I've seen it run at conventions, past has been Buck Sardou, who actually wrote the rules, running the games, always packed, full house. I never could even get a game in, and sometimes couldn't even get close to the table. It caught my eye right from the beginning. First, I can't even remember when I first saw it. It was Kickstarter in 2020, so it's been around a couple years. Of course, it kickstarted during COVID, so I kind of got a slow start. But anyway, and it's not just the presentation. The miniatures are cool, the tables are cool, but people always playing the games or having fun, hooping and hollering. And when you're going around a convention, those games will catch your attention just because they look fun and exciting. Not people, sitting around the table kind of halfway paying attention. And, you look at them like, well, that doesn't look like a whole lot of fun. War of Ozz is opposite. It's like, cool. What's that game about? Then you go over there and see the table and miniatures. And I'll be showing more. I'll probably be doing a weekly video on just War of Ozz stuff, I think. Talked to Russ for a good while yesterday. Very excited about carrying the miniatures. So you'll see them in the store, up online. And they said, like I said, the big deal is pushing them at conventions. Very excited. Yeah, I've talked to the guys that's running demos right now. There's about 3 of them. I'm going to coordinate, try to get to conventions, even if it's small ones, that they're going to be running demos. Demos they're not doing, conventions they're not doing demos. I want to get on the tables and get Curtis, probably help me, Mike, get him to help me do some demos, painting and stuff. So I'm very excited about that. That was kind of what distracted me yesterday, along with several other things. But yeah, that's the news. Like I said, I think I'll do little 10-minute videos. I'll show some of the miniatures, especially as we get stuff painted. The buildings I'm doing, they're cool. They're whimsical fairy buildings. Probably going to do some more darker stuff. I got some trees I want to do. Yeah, I got a lot of ideas about what the table should look like. I know Mike and Curtis do too. So I'm excited to see what we can come up. It'll be fun writing some scenarios. It's kind of wide open. I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to doing some stuff with it. Anyway, that's about it. 3D printers are fun. They're a pain in the butt. I guess kind of like kids. They're a blast, and then you know you have to do what you have to do sometimes. And but anyway, no, they're fun. Um, don't think you're gonna. Well, I don't know. Some people print a lot of stuff. It's just it's kind of what you're into. Um, and then look for more for Wars of Oz. Coming up right quick, we do have some big releases with Games Workshop. Got the Christmas boxes ordered. They're coming out the 24th, and the following week is Epic. I know Mike is super excited about that, along with some of the other guys. Got that order in. And yeah, I got trying to get some board games in for Christmas. Those should be coming in. Looks like it shipped, so maybe Monday. Hopefully, get that stuff in before Thanksgiving. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for your time, and I guess we'll see you next time.